Coming to you from Spy Shops USA again here in Rochester, Michigan. I want to give you guys a quick little how-to video of the digital wireless systems that we carry. Now the one I'm going to show you today actually has an SD card receiver where you can actually see the SD card slot in the front of the unit, so it's going to be a self-recording model. These particular receivers will support up to 4 different cameras. Now the kit itself comes with one camera. You can do it 2 different ways. We can actually do it with a monitor and with a 7-inch monitor DVR as well. I'm going to show you actually the setup menu and how to go through and get your cameras paired and then set up your time and date stamp and set up your recording and stuff like that with this particular model as well. So we're just going to get right to it. Again, you do have a power source for your receiver, power source for your camera. I'm going to plug in the receiver here first. And then it does come with an RCA cable, so you can plug this right to the back of the unit here. And then you'll be able to plug it into any style monitor using an RCA cable. You should be able to see this up. Okay. As of right now, it's showing that cam 1 you have no signal because we haven't paired them to the unit yet. So we're going to plug in your camera real quick. And then we're going to show you how to go through and actually pair up the units. It could possibly be paired up from the get-go. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look like it. So we'll go through and actually pair this model. Now it does come with a little tool that you can go through and pair. You have a remote control for the unit too as well, which I'm going to do it kind of from both ways, use it from the unit and do it from the remote control as well. So we're going to go into our main menu. I'm going to go into camera and actually turn camera 1 on, which if you add multiple cameras, all you have to do is go down through there and switch the cameras on. So we'll escape out of this. Now we'll go into the pairing. Oops, the wrong button there. Go into the pairing. We're going to pair camera 1. So right now it's saying pair camera 1. If you look on the back of this unit, there's a little hole. You're just going to press that real quick, and it's actually going to pair to the system. So we'll turn it out like this for right now, but once the camera's paired, then you can go into your main menu, and I will try to do all this from the actual remote control itself. Got a little menu button, so we're going to hit our menu button. Go back out of the camera. We're going to hit our menu button and go back to the main menu. We've already got it paired. We already got our camera on, so we can go into the recording mode. You can change your quality from the 320 by 240 or the 640 by 480. Obviously, the 640 by 480 is a higher resolution, so we're just going to leave that on there. Your trigger record. Basically, what this is going to do, it's going to record for a certain number of seconds after it detects that motion. So you can set it up for 5 seconds, 15 seconds, or 30 seconds. We'll leave it for 5 right now. You can actually go in here and do a scheduled time record if you want. So basically for everyday recording, if I wanted to schedule it from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it's just going to continuously record for that amount of time. You can go in and change all that information. Your overwrite, you can hit yes or no on your overwrite, which basically means with your SD card, if it gets to the end of the SD card, it'll flip over, start re-recording over your first information. If we hit it on yes, if we do no, it's actually going to do a stop. Once it gets to the end of the SD card, it'll stop recording completely. So whichever one you want to actually set it up for, you can do that. Go back out to your main menu again. Go down here to setting. You can set up your date and time, so obviously you can go through and adjust it and set it up accordingly. Escape out of this. You've got AV out, which basically, you've got NTSC, which is your American version, or PAL, which is an overseas version, so you want to keep it in the NTSC. You do have a zoom feature on this one. I don't necessarily recommend the zoom feature. You can do it. It's a 2-time zoom. But what it's going to do is actually just going to zoom closer on wherever you're aiming the camera. But I don't necessarily recommend you use the zoom feature on that. Obviously you can if you want to, because it's designed to do that. But let's see, we'll go back over here to brightness, so you can change your brightness level of your camera itself. It's kind of default is set right in the middle, which is fine. Format, if I go through and actually format it, it'll delete everything off the disk. So obviously, you can go through and do that if you don't want to keep any of the files that are on there. You can definitely do that. We're going to hit no right now. And then default, basically, it will set all the information back to the default setting or the factory setting, which if you go through and change all that information, obviously you don't want to do that because it's just going to erase everything that you did. So that's your basic setup functions on these. Now I'm going to go back out here again, and we're going to power the actual receiver off for a second, and I'm going to throw the SD card in here. Now again, the SD card only goes in one way. It'll actually show you how to put it in. Pop your SD card out. The reason I unplugged it, always make sure that you unplug it anytime, actually power the unit off anytime you put the SD card in or take the SD card out. Now I'm going to show you a couple of features on this too as well, as far as the recording function on it. Now there is a quad mode if you have multiple cameras, and I'm going to hit this quad mode real quick. Now you can't do a scheduled time recording, but it will do motion activated recording and continuous recording, either one in a quad mode, but you can't do a scheduled time recording. But if you can see, I mean, if I had multiple cameras, I'd have 4 different screens for those multiple cameras, so I'll just get out of this mode real quick. Now there's 2 ways to actually set up the recording from the unit. You can hit the auto button, which will be or motion or manual. So I mean, you can hit the motion button anytime it detects any kind of motion. Obviously it's automatically going to record. I'm going to turn that off for right now. You can also hit the manual button, so if I hit the manual button, it'll automatically record. Now this particular one records everything in 10-minute intervals, so which means it's going to record 10 minutes, save that file, kick right back on, record another 10 minutes, save that file, so so on and so forth. Take it out of the manual recording again. You see this little icon flashing on the screen, a little yellow, basically it's a little yellow SD, but what that means is you've got a new video. And that's all that little flashing means right there. So you can actually play back from the unit itself. There's a little play button on the DVR itself. Press the DVR, press OK for that, press OK for this. You can go down to the time and date that you want to check it out, and then hit your videos. It'll load it back up and play back those videos. You can delete them as well, which I'll go back here. Back to your main menu. You can hit the delete button. It'll ask you if you want to delete it, yes or no. You can just hit the back button, go to yes, and you can delete it. You can delete those files. Now the one thing it will not delete, and you may see this on there if I hit the play button and go back in, I got a video. I've got the date still on here. There are no videos in that file. Unfortunately, it does not delete that actual one without popping the SD card out, plugging it into your computer to delete that actual folder. But there's really nothing in that folder anymore. You can hit OK, and there's nothing really in there. So go back out to your main menu here. Now you can also, it's got a auto switching button or a manual switching button, as far as if you have multiple cameras paired to this unit. You can hit an auto and it'll automatically flip between the cameras about every 5 seconds. Or you can do a manual and press whatever camera you want to go to. If I wanted to go to camera 3, I just press it 3 times and then switch to camera 3. So that's kind of your basic functions on this device. Again, a great little inexpensive surveillance kit, with the wireless like that if you don't want to run all the cables for like a DVR. But again, supports multiple cameras, so it is very functional. But this product is available on our website at spyshopsusa.com, or you can come and visit us here in store at 411 South Main Street in downtown Rochester, Michigan.